Alrighty, guys. So as always, we have the Ruck and Puck Vibe 15, which is the a form All Black team, which we go through every week after Super Rugby, after the Super Rugby round. Um, so it's basically a team that if the All Blacks was picked tomorrow, this would be the starting team. It's only based on form, reputations in the Ruck and Puck Vibe 15 count for nothing. Um, and the whole idea about this is just so that I'm sick of getting to the end of a Super Rugby season when the All Blacks team is named and we see none of the players that we were all got so excited about during the season. So it's a way to keep track of them and then to hold it up at the end of Super Rugby and go, what the fuck, when none of the best players of Super Rugby were selected from the All Blacks. So here we go. As always, we're going to start off with the forward pack. Right, so as you can see, we've done away with the bench players. We're just going to keep this to the starting 15 just to make it a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. So this was the team from round 3. We had De Groot, Takiaho, and Fletcher Newell in the front row. There we have Josh Lord and Tupu Vai in the locks. TK Howden was our number 6. We had Ethan Blackadder at open side, and number 8 was Luke Jacobson. So let's quickly just have a look at what has changed. And we have 2 changes. We have Devon Flanders in for TK Howden and Peter Larkey in there for Luke Jacobson. So why? Well, let's just start with the front row. And this is a point that I want to make actually because I have seen some. I was watching the DSPN earlier this week, and they have their own form team now. And they had Cody Taylor in there at 2 at hooker, and for me, I maybe I missed the idea behind their team, but I don't know how anyone could have Cody Taylor in there over Takiaho as their form hooker right now. I mean, like, I'm not saying Cody Taylor shouldn't be the starting hooker for the All Blacks, but if you're picking a form team, as I am, and as what they apparently were, they had Cody Taylor in there over Takiaho, and Takiaho for me has been arguably the best hooker in the competition easily. Um, he is the form hooker, and if you're going to pick Cody Taylor as your hooker, then you're picking on reputation, in my opinion. So Takiaho is my hooker. In the locks, we have Josh Lord and Tupu Vai. Josh Lord just gets better and better every week, as does Tupu Vai. But Josh Lord, it's just so good to see him finally getting a good run of games with no injuries. Touch wood. He's been awesome. Not just like set piece, but also his ball carrying and his he is an absolute. I'm just seeing him bounding up the field, um, getting that hand free offloading. Oh, it's a pleasure to watch, and yeah, it's just awesome to see him. I don't know, stretch out and just showing a full array of his skills. It's pretty cool. And he's right there next to Tupu Vai as well, who's just getting better and better every week as well. These two, I would be shocked if they weren't the starting All Black locks for the first game of the season. If their bodies hold up, I would fully expect them to see them both in there. All right, so the only change one of the changes I made was Devon Flanders in at 6 instead of TK Howden. Look, Howden's been one of the busiest players for the Highlanders. He tops most of the metrics in terms of like carries and tackling, dominant tackles as well. So he's doing a good job, but he's just for me, Devon Flanders has come in and just he's a little bit different. I guess he's a bit more noticeable in terms of his physicality. He's a bit of a brute, and I like the fact that I don't know he's playing that 6 role sort of that the All Blacks have been missing since the likes of Kano and Frizzell left. So it's nice to see a new face as well, putting his name forward, and that's why he's in there. I also think he's a little bit more consistent, and that's probably the biggest reason why he's in there over someone like Simon Parker or even Torian Barnes. Simon Parker for me, he has games where he's on, he has games where he's, I guess, noticeable, more impactful, and then games when he's not. So, and Torian Barnes sort of he's in and out of the team sometimes. You know, Cotter is going for like Segner, I guess a more mobile option. So yeah, Flanders is probably the most consistent, and maybe it's a bit of hurricane bias as well, but I've got him in there at 6. Ethan Blackadder at 7. Look, I haven't watched too much of the Crusaders over the last 2 weeks, purely just because of life. It's gotten in front of me, and I haven't been able to watch them. But I haven't seen anything else from any other 7 in the country just yet. I mean, Duplessis Creefy had his first game for the Hurricanes last weekend. He was good without being, exceptional. Um, the Chiefs, you've had Kalen Boshier there last week. No, the week before. He didn't play there last week. Um, who else? Sean Withy. Again, Sean Withy didn't play last weekend. He's been good, but he didn't play there last weekend. And then at the Blues, Dalton Papali'i is probably the informed 7, but I'm not putting him in here purely because he's not going to be playing for the All Blacks this season. So Blackadder gets it. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Does Karifi get things going? Did he get back to the level he was at last year? Who knows? But yeah, Blackadder, he's still a very good 7. So he keeps his spot. Peter Lakai in there at 8. He usurps Jacobson. I guess I haven't really felt that Jacobson has been exceptional this season. He's been okay. Balakai for me is just a better 8 option for the All Blacks, and he is in better form. I just think he's a better option at 8. And for me, I would prefer to see Jacobson maybe at 7. Yeah, he's just, I don't know. It's a bit meh, really. I just don't really see Jacobson as a point of difference. He's in with the bunch really. So I've gone with Lakai because I think he is the number 8 for the All Blacks, and he's in good form. He doesn't do anything outrageous, but he is just super strong, super good at the breakdown. Strong carries. So yeah, he's the 8. So let's quickly move over to the back line. Alrighty, here is the Ruckenbach Vibe 15 back line. Well, this was the one from round 3. We have Hotham at 9, Josh Jackham at 10, Tavatava Nawai at second 5'8", Quintu Paia at centre, and then we have Caleb Tangitau and Will Jordan as the wingers, and Caleb Ratamatavuki Neepkins at fullback. Let's have a look at the changes. And 2 changes, 2 Hurricanes. Again, maybe my bias is showing. But let's start from the top. Let's start with Noah Hotham. Again, this is another one similar to Cody Taylor. DSPN had in Roy Gard there as their number 9, and I just can't understand why. Yes, he is probably going to be the All Black halfback. Yes, he's probably the best halfback in New Zealand. On form, he is not. On form, I've got to go with Noah Hotham. Look, as a Hurricane supporter, I watch the Hurricanes a lot, and I'm desperate to see Roy Gard get back to his best. But he's had a muted start, in my opinion. He's done the basics well. He just hasn't really. It's almost like he's holding back a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why. Is he doesn't want to get injured or what? But he just hasn't seemed like his normal self. So hopefully we see that. But right now, Noah Hotham, he's been the point of difference for the Crusaders. When they're winning and also sometimes when they're losing, he's popping up everywhere. Really good support play, scoring tries, assisting. everything. So he is the form number 9 in the New Zealand Super Rugby sides, in my opinion. Number 10, Josh Jackham. Who else, really? There's three guys, Callum Harkin, Bowden Barrett, and Damien McKenzie. And all three of them, just in my opinion, just haven't had enough game time to say that they are the best. They are the informed number 10. Josh Jackham has done nothing really to lose it. I imagine potentially this weekend coming with the Blues playing, I think they're playing Moana, Bowden Barrett at 10. We might see him snatch the 10 jersey next week. But right now, as I said, Josh Jackham, he was the 10 previously. And, you know, Dane McKenzie, Bowden Barrett only played one game, so you can't really switch him out for them. Callum Harkins looked okay, but he hasn't been outstanding. And I think also we've now got Ruben Love back in the team, so I would expect Harkin to take a bit of a step back. So Josh Jackham keeps his spot. The two changes was Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor, so they are the Hurricanes centre pairing. Again, they just looked really, really good. And I like taking the two from the same team just because they've got a great combination. Both of them instrumental in cutting apart the Waratahs on the weekend. So, yeah, there's not much else to say, really. Billy Proctor, I mean, he didn't really live up to expectations for the All Blacks last season, but we know how good he is at Super Rugby. And I actually don't think there has been any real exceptional 13 performances this year in Super Rugby. You've got AJ Lamb's done okay for the Blues. Jonah Lowe as well for the Highlanders has been okay. But Billy's come in 2 games and sort of, really, really looked the goods, in my opinion. Looked exceptional. Well above everyone else in New Zealand. And Geordie Barrett, you could make the argument Tavatava Nawai and Quincy Pai have been excellent all year, but I just think Geordie Barrett's just a little bit more well-rounded. He's got a good kicking game, good distribution. He runs hard. He's tough to stop, he goal kicks, and he's just a leader. So he gets my 12 spot. Then on the wings, you've got Caleb Tangitau, who I think we'd all agree should be the starting All Black winger this year. Probably should have been last year as well. Well, he should have had a spot over Sevu Reece. But anyway, here we are. So he is the 14. In the 11 jersey, we have Will Jordan. This is where it gets a little bit controversial. He is not the fullback for me because I just think Jacob Ratamatavuki-Neepkins has been excellent. I don't think he gets enough raps, really. He just makes the right play at the right time. He's got a good kicking game, good distributor. He just does little things, and I just think they're super underrated. I would like to see him attack the line a bit more, run with it a bit more. Maybe we will. I hope so. But again, I think I would love to see him in an All Black team, and I also want to see Will Jordan in the All Black team. So that's why Will Jordan gets in there on the wing. And the most controversial thing about this is probably Caleb Clark and maybe Leroy Carter. Also very, very having very, very good season so far. Especially Caleb Clark. He's looked excellent. So it's tough to leave him out, but I don't know. Maybe there is maybe Caleb Clark should be starting and you have a Will Jordan or a Neepkins on the bench. I don't know. Alrighty, so there it is in all its glory, the All Black Vibe 15 after round 4 of Super Rugby. Plenty of controversy in there, I'm sure. Plenty of players that you guys would not have selected. So please sound off in the comments. Let me know who should be in there instead. Let me know, guys. Give us a like, a subscribe as well if you want to follow along. And that's it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rugby. And go Hurricanes.